My wife stopped taking her birth control without informing me. My wife and I have been married almost 9 months. We tied the knot last December. We came into the relationship both wanting children, however we had mutually discussed and agreed to wait until we owned a home. I finished school, and we had our finances in order more to start trying. The entirety of our relationship, she's been on the pill as her preferred method of birth control. My wife is out having dinner with her parents tonight while I'm hanging out at the house with some friends. She had ordered groceries to be delivered earlier today, and when they arrived of course, started to put things away. One of the items she purchased was a pregnancy test, which was such a shock that I literally felt my stomach drop when I saw it. Immediately I called her, and asked why on earth she ordered a pregnancy test. Turns out about a month ago she decided to stop taking her pill because she thought we were ready for children. I asked why she wouldn't get my input on something so huge and she replied that she wanted to surprise me. I told her there's literally 100 different surprises that I would prefer currently, told her I'd see her later, and ended the call. Her period is due later this week, so unless she plans on taking it early we won't know if she's pregnant for a few days. I'm livid. We are not in the position to become parents currently. I certainly don't want to be bringing a newborn into the world during a pandemic. I don't know if it's justified considering we are married and both eventually want children, but I feel absolutely betrayed that she would make a decision like this behind my back. We had even agreed that if somehow we got pregnant while she was on the pill that we wouldn't go through with the pregnancy. I know she'll be coming home soon, and honestly I don't even want to look at her right now or know what to say. Am I right to be upset about this? What should I do? I'm currently working a full-time job while pursuing my master's. I literally do not have the time to be a suitable parent. Edit. She just texted me. I'm so sorry that you're reacting this way. You've seemed really unhappy lately and I thought you would consider this good news. You have every right to be mad. Partnership is built off trust. Going behind your back was not okay. This is completely messed up, but what also stands out to me is her apology. Saying she's sorry you're reacting this way does not equals her being sorry for her actions. That's so fucked up. You're absolutely justified in your reaction. Be careful thou, if she's willing to do something like this once, time to add condoms onto that shopping list. I'm so sorry that you're reacting this way. You've seemed really unhappy lately and I thought you would consider this good news. 1. This is not an apology. She takes no ownership of her actions. Quite frankly this just makes her shittier. 2. Her actions are what's called reproductive coercion. 3. A child will not fix problems of you being unhappy. If she thinks she can fix that with a baby rather than communication, you have bigger issues than a pregnancy scare. Well, this is a deal breaker. She decided to take your future into her hands. Why would you trust her with anything? Any apology that starts with, I'm sorry you're, is not an apology. Starting a family is a decision you make together, not something you trick your partner with. This is horrible. If she is pregnant, save your texts and any proof because this is a crime actually. You could get out or child support if you can prove it. Also, I think divorce or marriage counseling is a must for you. Reproductive coercion. It's just as egregious. You're justified in feeling betrayed, because you were betrayed. I can't imagine doing this to my husband. I don't have any advice for you, but have a conversation and then really think about if you'll be able to trust her again. You shouldn't have been tricked into a life decision this huge, and I'm having trouble understanding how any sensible person wouldn't see this as a deception. It's certainly not a fun surprise. She's trying to baby trap you. Run. Been married all of 9 months. Sounds like she's going for the gotcha. Now you can't leave me or it'll cost you half of everything and child support too. Gotcha. Jesus, this is so fucked. Normal people don't do this. Some people would call that rape or some form of sex assault, since she unilaterally removed your informed consent. You are absolutely right to be upset, and as much as I understand that you won't want to see it this way, this is rape, reproductive rape. You consented to sex under the implicit terms that she was on birth control and she changed the situation by not taking birth control, meaning that you did not consent to the sexual activities as they happened. This isn't to say that you have to call the police or anything. However, strongly consider whether you want to stay with a person who not only felt comfortable and justified doing this to you, but doesn't even recognize the severity of their actions. Consider the ramifications this attitude could have on potential children. Please seek counseling and support for this. I'm so sorry it happened to you. I'm so sorry that you're reacting this way. Classic non-apology. She's not sorry for her actions at all. She thinks she did nothing wrong. Couples counseling at a minimum. I don't know if real trust could ever be regained. She is lying to you, taking away your choice on when or if you want to have children, and does not respect your opinion. Do you trust her? Are you happy knowing this is how she sees you and will treat you? Think it over. Also, I suggest no sex at all until you've made your decision, or else she will make it for you. What other selfish, inconsiderate behaviors and actions of hers have you not confronted or made excuses for? I have a hard time believing this is a first-time thing. You are right to be pissed. Your wife didn't surprise you, she created a big trust issue. I can't believe she would have done this to someone she had respect for. Bringing a child into the world should be agreed upon by both people in the relationship, not just one. That was an extremely rude, crazy, stupid thing to do on her part. That's like trying to trap a man with a baby. You have enough stress as it is, and that's not a surprise at all. If I were you, I'd run for the hills fast. You can't trust her, or she's extremely stupid. From one woman to another, bitch, what the fuck? I would leave. If she's willing to lie over this, then who knows what else she's lying about. You are totally in the right to be upset about this. Having children should be a joint decision, and there was a major communication breakdown here, lack of respect. I would come to her about how you feel about this. Hopefully she is not pregnant. If she is not, you hopefully can mend this through couples therapy. If she is pregnant, couples therapy too, but it is a harder situation. Good luck. This so much bigger than a botched surprise. She's sending you a very clear message about how much she values your feelings and input on major decisions. If you stay, you're telling her this is okay with you. Someone else mentioned reproductive coercion, and I think this definitely counts. I think my husband would divorce me if I did that to him, and we've been together 10 years. Get out and find someone who values you as an equal. You are completely justified in being upset. This was not an accident, which we all know can happen. She planned a pregnancy without your consent. When you talk to her, ask her how she would feel if she didn't want a baby and thought she could trust you to be safe, only to find out you were sticking pun holes through a condom. This is huge, and I put it on the same level as cheating. I'd never trust her again. This is super fucked up and a deal breaker in my opinion. You will never be able to trust her again. I don't understand how she could think this is okay. You made plans, and did the responsible thing. I hope she isn't pregnant, but regardless, you have a lot to think about. Can you trust her again? When you want to cheer someone up, you bake them cookies, you don't try to get pregnant. FYI, I'm sorry you reacted this way, is not an apology. Your feelings are absolutely valid, she is in the wrong here. The good news is, if she has been on the pill for several months, it's likely that her hormones will take a few months to level out, and she may not have been able to get pregnant within the 1 month. Since the trust is broken, I would highly recommend therapy and re-evaluating the relationship. I'm sorry this is happening. Dude, about your edit, note that she didn't apologize. She is sorry you are feeling that way. The text she sent you afterwards just shows she has no remorse for her actions and shows that she doesn't understand the severity of her actions. I'm not saying break up with her, but this is a huge red flag, one that I personally wouldn't ignore. Wouldn't this be considered rape? You had sex with her under the condition that she was on the pill. She stopped taking it without telling you. She lied to you. You gave her your consent under the impression that she was on birth control, and she lied. How can you trust her ever again? She doesn't even think what she did was wrong, and she didn't apologize. Is this really the type of person you want to be married to? From now on, use condoms and keep them on you so she can't sabotage them. She obviously can't be trusted when it comes to honoring your agreement when it comes to children. Her text reply of, "I'm sorry you're reacting this way," feels really condescending and dismissive of your feelings. Like this is all your issue and she's done nothing wrong and you need to just get over it. The fact that she follows up by implying that she only did it to make you happy is also really manipulative. If you were using condoms as birth control and were secretly taking off the condom during sex and she got pregnant when she wasn't prepared to have a baby and you said, "I'm sorry you're reacting this way. I thought you'd be happy and I was doing this for you." I'm pretty sure she would lose her mind. I currently make jack shit working for a grocery store. One of the main reasons I wanted to wait. I'm currently working a full-time job while pursuing my master's. And she hits you with this, "I'm so sorry that you're reacting this way. You've seemed really unhappy lately and I thought you would consider this good news." Real talk, does your wife normally do stupid shit? Does she normally make big decisions without consulting you at all? Does she know how expensive a kid will be? Does she have a job? "I'm sorry you're reacting this way," is such a non-apology. She is saying you don't have the right to feel the way you do. If I were you I would be incredibly upset. That was a huge breach of trust to make that decision without consulting you. You have every right to be angry. Her choice to act without your knowledge or consent is gravely concerning. She's either immature or insensitive or both. I would not sort this out alone. Seek out a couples therapist. Let me get this straight. You've been so unhappy lately, like everyone else in the country, and she thought surprising you with a baby in the middle of this crap fest would be good news? What in the fuck? She doesn't have the best decision-making skills, does she? You have every right to feel violated and betrayed. She is your partner. These things need to be discussed. The apology is a non-apology. Take your time to process this, but everything about this situation is so alarming. Some places this is a form of rape. You have every right to be mad. This is a massive betrayal. It can take a couple months for a cycle to regulate after stopping birth control, but it's also possible to get pregnant right away. If she's not pregnant, you two have some serious conversations to have, namely, why on earth she felt she had the right to decide for both of you that she was doing this, despite what your previous joint decision was. Either she's a control freak, or she's using you for a baby, or she's really immature and irresponsible, but something is majorly wrong with her for thinking this is okay. And if she can't see that, she's probably not worth having as a wife. And if she's pregnant, yikes. That's a huge yikes. I wouldn't be comfortable staying with someone who did that to me unless we had explicitly discussed the idea of having kids. She is trying to trap you with a kid, clear as day. If you're okay with that or want to try and make things work, a serious discussion and marriage counseling would be the bare minimum in my opinion. That apology is horseshit as well. Definitely think moving on is your best bet here. The other comments have contained every sentiment I have as well. But what I wanted to ask is, have you been finishing inside her when you all had sex? How often have you all been having sex in the last week? All of this plays into the odds of her actually being pregnant. You're definitely justified in being upset. The non-apology she gave you is really the cherry on top. Face with rolling eyes, "I'm sorry you feel that way," is a such bullshit apology. I do not blame you for being upset. I would be also. She betrayed your trust and went against what the two of you had agreed on. That's not okay at all. Wanting to surprise you because you are unhappy lately is an excuse. How would a surprise baby make you feel any better? It wouldn't. This is serious red flag, and I honestly suggest marriage counseling or just going separate ways. Holy shit, I would probably want out if she ends up not being pregnant. That's like dodging a bullet at this point. Good luck. You consented to sex under the impression that she was still using birth control. You did not consent to sex without contraception. No matter if it turns out she is pregnant or not, you need to seriously reevaluate this relationship as she did something without your consent. Stay safe and get out of there. Remind me 1 week. Leave her. This is a horrific situation. You will never be able to trust her again and you'll constantly be doubting your marriage. You've gotta go, mate. I'd recommend getting her a birth control implant. This way it has to be removed by a doctor to try to get pregnant again. It doesn't fix the issue but makes it a bit easier cause the implant is kinda visible. You have every right to be mad. Imagine if you'd poked holes in condoms because you wanted kids? Everyone would be mad at you and calling it borderline rapey. It's wrong either way. Dude, if my partner tried to sabotage my birth control to get me pregnant early, I'd be gone. Do not have sex with her at least. See if it's positive or not. If it's negative, take a pic of the test for evidence in case she gets pregnant with someone else, and leave.